Hi, Mark Rogerson here. Today I'm joined by Adam Roth. We're both from Rogerson Kenny, accounting firm in Melbourne. Adam's our SMSF manager. Welcome, Adam.
Nice to be here.
And today we're going to talk about downsizer contributions. So the very exciting topic of downsizer contributions. Most people, I don't think, have heard of downsizer contributions, and this particular piece of legislation, what we're going to talk about today, really relates to superannuation and where we're concerned, self-managed super funds, because that's what we do. So a bit about downsizer contributions. The legislation was passed 13th of December 17, and it was a budget measure in the 17-18 package, and the basic idea is that Australians who are of a certain age can sell their house and stick money into super. Does that sound
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's the twofold was to make sure that those people who were having trouble getting money into super really had a way to get money in, and also it just helps with the property market and making sure properties are turning over, which is, as we all know, an issue for Melbourne and Australia. So
yeah, that's a good point. So I guess the government motivation, number one, moving people out of the capital cities in their 4 or 5 bedroom homes and moving them into something more suitable, and number two, recognising there's a lot of equity in their houses and
Correct.
Putting that equity into super. So a bit on the criteria, the eligibility criteria with the downsizer contribution. Probably the first one is you need to be 65 years or over to access it.
Yep.
Something that will interest a lot of people that are well versed in super. The downsizer contribution, which we'll talk about the amounts in a minute, but the downsizer contribution doesn't actually count towards your contribution caps, which I think is quite unusual and quite exciting, I think, probably for a lot of people. But perhaps now let's sort of run through the criteria that you need to make to be eligible.
all right. So the criteria generally are that you have to be over the age of 65. It needs to be a principal place of residence or a main residence, so you need to have some level of main residence exemption.
Yep.
It needs to be after the 1st of July 2018, and the proceeds of the money needs to be making its way into superannuation within 90 days.
So what level of proceeds can you put into the fund?
So it can't be more than the value of the house or the dwelling that you're selling.
Yep.
And 300,000 is the maximum per person. So if there's a husband and wife, it can be up to $600,000.
I think an important part there as well, on the title of your house, that if it's a husband and wife and say the title's in the wife's name, it doesn't mean that the husband then can't put money into super. So as long as you've both been in there for 10 years or more and it's been your main residence during that time, you can both access it. So it's not title specific.
That's correct.
Some of the other anomalies with the name downsizer contribution, you actually don't need to be downsizing your house. You could just be selling your main residence and moving into the beach house. You don't have to buy something else. You don't have to buy something cheaper. So it's quite interesting. Probably the only real catch there is that you can't put more proceeds in than what the proceeds from the house are, which is interesting. A couple of other points are to note is that the contract date's got to be after 1 July 18, which it should be by now, and you have to put the proceeds into super within 90 days after receiving it's 90 days from contract, I think, isn't it, not settlement?
Yes.
So it's usually around, so your proceeds have to go in 90 days post contract, which is usually around settlement. So it's a bit of an interesting one. I'm not quite sure what happens if settlement is 120 days or longer.
90 days, or you might be even 90 days might make it slightly difficult.
Might need a bit of professional advice around that one. As with all things on the internet, especially this video, you should seek professional advice before taking action. Perhaps a good start, if you have more questions, Google ATO downsizer contributions. You can sort of see a bit more on the ATO site. It's quite comprehensive. We're going to have a white paper in the notes section to this video, so you can download that by all means. But as always, you should be seeking professional advice. Just a couple of other things, Adam. I believe there's no age limit to this, so you have to be at least 65, but you could be an 85-year-old person and make this contribution. Correct. Yeah, that's pretty good. A bit of a watch out too, if you're receiving any sort of Centrelink age pension, healthcare type benefits, this will impact that. So you need, once again, seek that professional advice around that. And if you do sell your house and buy something else, you've got all usual costs to consider. So there's going to be agent fees, stamp duty, legal fees, etc., etc. So really, just watch out for that.
Yep.
All right. thanks for watching, everyone, and yeah, please download our white paper on this or get in contact, and we'd love to help you. Thank you.